Hello learners. Today we are going to start chapter number 1, class 10th. Lesson is from the civics stream. Title of the lesson is power sharing. So we are starting with this lesson, civics portion of class 10th standard. It is the first lesson of your civics. So children, before we share the concept of power sharing, we are starting with two of the case studies. First is from Belgium, a small nation in Europe, and other one is about the Sri Lanka, which is a neighboring country of India, so you would better understand it. So first of all, we are beginning with Belgium, which is a small nation in Europe. Just consider this as a map of Belgium. Okay, it is divided in two regions. One is Flemish and other is Wallonia. Belgium is a small nation and it is surrounded by other powerful countries of Europe, like of Germany, France. It is just for understanding, okay? And Poland. Children, people from Germany had an implication over Belgian people, likewise France, likewise Poland. So people of Belgium are having knowledge of Germany. People of France culture follower are also living in Belgium. Polish people or the Dutch spoken people are also there in Belgium. So there had been a diverse type of culture. There had been a diverse type of traditions. Diverse language spoken people are living over there. Okay. Now, early 1960s, there had been lot much problems. What? One of the community, one of the followers, one of the diverse group started discriminating the others. Okay, and those who were in minority were a little bit more richer than the majority groups. So conflicts grew more and more with time. I'll clear it to you with some particular examples. Especially 59% of the people who live in Flemish region are speaking Dutch language. So here you can conclude that Flemish is being dominated by the Dutch culture followers. Okay, whereas the remaining 40% people who are living in the Wallonia region are speaking French. So Wallonia is dominated by the French culture. And how much population of the total nation living over there? That is 40%. Okay, rest of the 1% population is of the German culture. Okay, so one group is being dominated by the other. Now another problem is there. What is that? Just forget these regions and now just observe the capital city. Capital city of Belgium is Brussels. Consider this. It's very, very important. Now the community which is in minority in the rest of the nation, that is French, is in majority in Brussels city. Means most of the population of the Brussels is French. Okay, they are relatively rich. Okay, but in rest of the country they are in minority. Clear? So there would be again conflicts. Alright. Okay, so up to now you have to understand only one thing. You don't need to keep in mind that how much portion of population is living where or what kind of language they are speaking. You need to understand only the one thing, that there had been the diverse culture, there had been the different language spoken people, there had been the conflicts regarding one community over the other. Okay, only one thing you need to keep in mind, that the communities started targeting each other. Okay, the community which had been in minority, okay, was enjoying more resources, somehow as they had got benefit due to some economic privileges. Okay, so children, gradually there had been conflicts. So now Bristol's government started targeting these problems. They devised some mechanism to settle all these diverse groups. They devised some of the provisions so that all these conflicts could come to an end and all the people could settle down with peace. Okay, they devised some mechanisms. They adopted one particular policy that is called accommodation. We will be discussing this accommodation right here so that you could understand that how did they settle all these diverse groups. May they be French culture followers, may they be the Dutch culture followers, may they be the German speaking people. Okay, so let us understand what was the accommodation policy which Belgium adopted. We will be doing this in detail and it comes in the board under the title of 5 marks. Okay, it is really very good question and has been asked in the board examination many times. So we are going to understand the model of accommodation, okay, in detail. First of all, as the name suggests, accommodation means adjusting. Accommodation means satisfying every group, may it be higher, may it be majority or minority. Okay, may it be from any culture. Okay, that would be accommodated, that would be adjusted, that would be satisfied. Children, once again you can take it as that whatever group you belong to, may it be language group, may it be cultural group, may it be religional group, may it be any regional group. Okay, you would not be recognized on that basis, you would not be privileged on that basis. Rather, may you be a relatively less number group, may you be minority group, you too would be getting benefit. Okay, you too would be provided the equal treatment. That would be accommodation, that would be existing. Means you would not be discriminated on the basis of caste, color, creed or gender. Is it? So there have been some particular features. Before starting this model of accommodation, I'll let you know that Belgium revised or amended its constitution for more than 4 times. Okay, to adjust all the groups. Okay, so now we start with the features of the model of accommodation. First and foremost feature of the constitution is that the constitution of Belgium describes that number of ministers in the central government means the government which is formed for the nation would have an equal number of ministers from both of the community. Both of the community means from Dutch as well as French. Okay, so 50% ministers would be from the Dutch, likewise 50% ministers would be from the French. Okay, so there would be no conflict now. Is it? Second feature is what? Second and most important feature of model of accommodation is that no decision regarding the nation, regarding the Belgium whole of the nation, no decision would be taken unilaterally. Unilateral decisions would not be taken. Now, what do you mean by unilateral? Unilateral means one-sided decisions would not be taken. Okay, that how decisions would be taken? Decisions would be taken. Decisions would be made on the basis of consensus. What does consensus means? Consensus means coming on an agreement, reaching on an agreement. Okay, both of the community, if they are having conflict over some specific issue, okay, may it be national language, may it be some particular provision, may it be power sharing, may it be any, okay, they would be reaching on an agreement. Okay, no particular group would be deciding on its own that this should happen. Okay, unilateral decisions would not be taken. Okay, decisions would be taken on the basis of consensus. Okay, that will be the most important decision. Once again, I want to let you know that consensus means reaching on an agreement, reaching on a common proposal. Okay, reaching on a final point where all are satisfied, on which everybody is agreed upon. Okay, that is called consensus. Okay, this is something. Now, third most important feature, that is, they have given some powers to the regional governments. Okay, power sharing agreements have been done. Okay, powers have been shared with regional governments. You know, Belgium is divided into two of the regions, Wallonia and Flemish. So, regional governments would have the very good powers. And most important is that regional governments would not be subordinate. Regional governments would not be subordinated. What does it mean? It simply means that they would not be in subordination of the central government. Central government could not pressurize the regional governments regarding their subject area. Means in their particular subject area, regional governments, may it be the Flemish region government, may it be the Wallonia region government, they would be free to take decisions. Okay, clear? So up to now I have cleared you three particular points. First one was that no decisions would be taken unilaterally. Second was no decision could be taken unilaterally, rather it would be made on consensus. Second was number of ministers would be equal from both of the major communities, may it be Dutch or the France. Third one is power sharing has been done very proper way. Regional governments would not be subordinated, they would have a proper say in their particular area. Okay, they would not be keep under the pressure to take decisions on the say of the central government. Okay, that was the third feature. Okay, next is okay, what do you mean by power sharing? Power sharing means that sufficient number of topics, sufficient number of law-making powers have been given to the regional governments. Okay, clear? This is called, this is a very effective way of making administration very smooth as well as very perfect. Okay, clear? So now we move to the next. Next, as I told you, that Brussels, the capital city of Belgium, had its own problem. The community which was in minority all over the Belgium was in majority in the capital city. So I told you that French were in minority all over the Belgium, but they were in majority in the capital city. Okay, so it was decided that Brussels would have its own government. Okay, so Brussels had a capital city government. Okay, that was a separate government for Brussels. Okay, it would solve the problem of minority majority. Okay, so now there would be no issue. May it be that there are French in majority, this problem would be resolved via providing this capital city government, especially for the Brussels. Okay, as it had particularly a problem. Okay, clear? Now the last one. As I had told you in the that Belgium had been a diverse culture. Okay, there had been the Dutch followers, there had been the French followers, there had been the German followers. Okay, so children, there could be some community issues. Okay, may it be regarding religion, may it be regarding culture, may it be regarding some other. Okay, so to resolve all these cultural disputes, another kind of government was set, that was called community-based government. Was set to resolve cultural matters, cultural issues. Okay, so children, there is a central government. Okay, in all now up to now you would have understand that in Belgium there are four set of government. One is for the center, okay, for the entire nation. That too is having the equal number of ministers from both of the major communities, may it be Dutch, may it be France, may it be French, okay. Then there are regional governments also, okay, which would be not subordinated by the center. Then there is a capital city government also, which is dealing especially for the Brussels, okay. And now there is a community government also to deal with the cultural issues. Cultural issues could be regarding education, could also include the issues related with marriage, could also include the issues regarding culture. Okay, so cultural disputes would be resolved by the community government. So up to now you would have understand that in Belgium, a citizen of Belgium is being governed by the four set of governments. One for the entire nation, other for the regions, other for the community, and the last one is for the capital city also. Okay, clear? So these four set of governments are there. So you would feel, sir, how difficult it would be, how complicated it would be. In fact, it is not complicated. It is, it has made it very easy for them to deal with. Okay, because every set of government is dealing with its own area only. Okay. If these are national issues means maybe the issue of currency, maybe the issue of foreign affairs, maybe the issue of defense, that would be dealt by the union government or central government. If it is the regional issue, that would be dealt by the regional governments. Okay, if it is the issue of community, marriage, education, culture, it would be dealt by the community government, isn't it? Okay, likewise, if there is the issue of capital city, that would be dealt by the Brussels capital city government. Okay, so now though the same set of citizens are being governed by the four particular set of governments, okay, but different governments are dealing with the different kind of norms. Okay, they are dealing with a different area. Okay, so dear learners, up to now I have sufficiently cleared you about the model of accommodation of the Belgium. Though there had been a lot much diversity, then even the constitution of the Belgium deals very proper way. Okay, it tries to satisfy almost all the diverse section, may it be of the French culture, Dutch culture, may it be the other cultures. Okay, they have been satisfied some or other way, they have been accommodated some or other way, they have been adjusted some or other way. You see, one set of government is to deal with the national issues. Likewise, there are regional governments. That regional governments too are not subordinated. Okay, not subordinated. Okay, means they are free to deal in their own area. Then there are capital city governments to deal with the only capital city issues, administrations. Okay, likewise there is a community set of government which deals with the cultural type of issues. Okay, so children, though there was much diversity, but that too was adjusted. That too was accommodated. Though Constitution of Belgium was amended for 4 times. Okay, but finally we reached on such arrangements which help ensure peace, which help ensure situation of all-round development of the nation. Now there are no more conflicts regarding the caste, color, creed, culture. Okay, everything is going on very proper way in Belgium nowadays. Okay, you would feel surprised that Brussels, which is capital city, was only chosen for headquartering the organization of all the European countries, that is European Union. Okay, in 1990s, in the beginning of 1990s, European countries started forming their union. EU was formed, European Union was formed. You would have heard about Euro also, the currency which runs in, which is similar to all of the European nations, may it be Britain, may it be Switzerland, may it be other European countries. Okay, so Brussels has been chosen for the headquarters in European Union. Why? Because it is very better way dealing with German culture, French culture, Dutch culture, etc. Okay, so children, this was about the model of accommodation. This is a way of adjusting, accommodating the diverse groups of a society. Okay, so children, I have told you about the diversity and a way to deal with them, that was accommodation. This is a very wise way of dealing with the diversity. Is it? Now we are going to learn another example of Sri Lanka. Okay, there also had been diversity like of Belgium, but they didn't deal by this strategy. Accommodation they didn't. Okay, they went through some other way. Okay, so let us just that what happened. Just a minute. Our purpose in this video is to give you a better conception. So please see the video up to last. Okay. If any point has not been touched in the beginning, that will be covered up in the last. Okay. So you are supposed to see the full video. So children, now I am giving you the another strategy to deal with the diversity. First, take the example of Sri Lanka. Just consider this as a map of Sri Lanka. Okay. It is not actual map, I know, but consider it as Sri Lanka looks like this. Okay, clear? Now what had been, it is a very small nation. In 1948 it got freedom from the British colonial rule. Okay, independence obtained in 1948. Clear? Now, population of Sri Lanka, 74% are Sinhala. %18 are Tamils. Rest are mixed. Mixed population. Maybe Muslims, maybe Christians. Okay? Mixed population. Okay? Once again, Sri Lanka, a small nation, 74% are Sinhalaj, 18% are Tamils. May it be those particular who were living in the Sri Lanka forever but following Tamil culture. Okay? Or these Tamils also include some of the people, some of the Tamil culture people who have migrated from Tamil region of India to Sri Lanka and have started living over there forever. Okay, have started living there in Sri Lanka. Okay, they have decided that they would be living over there only. Okay, so some Tamils were living before 1948, and some of were the migrants from Indian Tamil region. Okay, 8% are the mixed population, may be Muslims, may be Christians, may be some other. Okay. So children, you would see that majority of the Sri Lanka is Sinhalaj. They consider themselves as natives of Sri Lanka. Clear? Tamils are concentrated especially in the north-eastern part of Sri Lanka. This is the region where Tamils are in concentration. Okay. Now actually, you know, as of Belgium deals very proper way with the diversity. Okay, but Sri Lanka did not respond that way. Okay, Sri Lanka followed another way, that was majoritarianism. That we are. The policy of Sri Lanka was majoritarianism. Okay, this simply means rule of majority in the country. who was in majority in Sri Lanka? Sinhalaj. So they started, though Sri Lanka is a democratic country, okay, but you know, whenever the elections would take place, only Sinhala community people would be able to win the elections as they are in good numbers, as they were in majority. So they would be able to win. Clear? So now what they started, they knew that Tamils would never be able to form government as they are in minority. Others group, there are no chances of forming government. Okay, so only and only Sinhalaj people would only be winning. May it be the democratic elections. Okay, so now what started happening? The Sinhala people who were in majority, they started, Sinhalaj started discriminating minorities. Who were in minority? Tamils, Muslims, and Christians. Clear? Okay. They started discriminating the minority, especially Tamils, Muslims, and Christians. So, what kind of discrimination was there? First and foremost, in 1956, Sinhala government made Sinhala language mandatory for government jobs plus university courses. What does this mean? This simply means that only those people who know Sinhala would be considered fit for government jobs. Means Tamil people, okay, they either are supposed to learn Sinhala or they are supposed to remain out. Okay, first thing. Secondly, university courses means if you know Sinhala language, you would be provided the good education opportunity, otherwise you would not be considered fit for. So this would be what? The systematic subordination of the minority. Is it okay? So what is happening actually, that this particular culture would be discriminated, or this particular culture is going to be harassed, isn't it? Okay, if anybody want to continue in the Tamil language, he would not be considered fit for jobs. Okay, he is always supposed to be poor. Okay, he is not being provided the equal opportunity as of those who are from the Sinhala community. First thing. Okay, second strategy which Sinhala started, okay, which majority government started, that was imposition of Buddhism. Buddhism was considered as national religion of Sinhala. Buddhism was declared as the official religion of Sri Lanka. Is it okay? By the Sinhala government. Okay. Now what happened? Tamils who either had been Hindu culture or the Muslim culture. Tamils were both Muslim also and Hindu also. So now it became a problem for them. Okay. Clear? Means they didn't get any kind of freedom to celebrate their festivals, to celebrate their particular religious teachings or religious sermons independently. They were not being provided equal opportunity as of the Sinhalaj. Okay, so this was a clear discrimination of the Tamils. Is it? Okay, now this would be resulting in what? This would be resulting in civil war. Okay, so children, first of all, up to here, you need to understand that majority was ruling, and this particular practice is called majoritarianism. How did they practice majoritarianism? They imposed their particular language. Okay, this language only was considered fit. Okay, this language only was considered the mandatory condition for government jobs as well as for the university admissions. Okay, if you don't know Sinhala language, you would not be considered for the government jobs. Okay, likewise for the university admissions. Same is Buddhism practice directly harassing the Tamils. Okay, they would not be able to teach, preach their particular culture, their particular religion, their particular traditions. Okay, if they are doing, they could be restricted. Okay, they would not be getting any kind of government help. Okay, so children, such type of practices were there. So what would be resulting in? This I told you how they were practicing the majoritarianism, how they were practicing over there. Now we are discussing the outcomes. What were the outcomes of this? What happened? Please consider it very seriously, okay? It's really very important. What happened? Majoritarianism resulted in what? It resulted directly in civil war. What is civil war? Civil war, in very simple concept, means people or community of the same nation are fighting with each other. Okay, Tamils and Sinhalese both were of the Sri Lankan people. Okay, and now Tamils, when they were discriminated, okay, they started fighting for their rights. Okay, so once again I am defining the civil war, which is a very simple term. People of the same country, okay, two communities of the same country are fighting with each other. Okay, that would be considered as a situation of civil war. And civil war is a situation which is very bad for country economy, country's progress, and especially for harmony. Okay, especially for the peace, it is extremely bad. Okay, so up to now I have cleared you civil war. Now I am going to tell you that how Tamil protests started. Means what way they were fighting against Sinhalese. Let us discuss this. This is also important. First of all, it could also be referred as in the outcomes only. Tamils organized a militant group. Formed a militant group. This group is called militant group. This group is called LTTE. Okay, what does LTTE refers for? Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam. Okay, this was the organization which was formed by Tamils. Okay, they raised their own militant group. Okay, now children, this militant group came in direct fighting with the Simla army. Okay, so this is civil war when two communities of the same country are fighting against each other. First thing. Second thing, Tamils demanded, they raised the demand of separation of Tamil Eelam area from Sri Lanka. Just see, in the beginning I told you that consider this as Sri Lanka. Okay, this especially northeastern part, okay, was the area where Tamils were in concentration. Okay, this particular area was demanded by them. They say it as Tamil state. Eelam means state. They say that this area should be separated from rest of Sri Lanka. Okay, they would make it as a Tamil state. They would make it as a Tamil country. Okay, they started demanding for the separation of this particular area from the Sri Lanka. Okay, so children, see, it is the point of observation that majoritarianism led to the sectionist demand of separation. It leads to the demand of a section. Means Tamil people, when they were being discriminated, they started asking for separation from the rest of the country. Is that okay? They had already developed the LTTE, which came in conflict with the Sri Lankan army. Also consider that Tamils were also the people of Sri Lanka, but they are fighting against their own country's military. Okay, those people who were supposed to be loyal to the country, they are fighting against the country, isn't it? So majoritarianism had led the people's dissatisfaction has resulted in country's weakness. Okay, once again I'm reminding you, I'm saying this line once again because this is really very noteworthy, that a countryman is supposed to be loyal, but the country's government is not attending the people proper way, so people have started turning against the country, is it? And it has resulted in the sectionist demands. It has resulted in the formation of the organizations like of LTTE. Is it okay? Clear? So children, I have sufficiently cleared you up to now. Okay. Now we are moving on to the next thing. Okay. So, when we compare both of the examples, accommodation and this majoritarianism, we come to a point that accommodation was far better. Accommodation could also be referred as power sharing. Okay, you see over there that power was shared. What was the first feature of the accommodation? First feature was that power would be shared in the central government, equal number of ministers. 50% would be the Dutch and 50% would be the French in the Belgium. Okay, you see that. Secondly, you touched that regional governments would also be given some powers. Okay, on some specific issues, on some specific regional matters, only regional government would be dealing. Clear? That you touched. That is the power sharing. Then you see that some powers had been provided to the capital city. Okay, I am talking of the accommodation of Belgium. Is it? Okay, so power sharing arrangements were there. Is it, children? So we have done sufficiently about the power sharing type of thing. Clear? Community matters were being dealt by the community government. So up to now you have obtained that power sharing is very good. Okay, accommodation of power sharing type of thing is really good in comparison of the majoritarianism. Okay.